Police forces in England and Wales could get up to £1 billion more funding from next year. However, a third of that rise is dependent on local police and crime commissioners adding on an extra £14 to the average household council tax bill. The government says that this is a way of striking a balance between protecting taxpayers and providing funding to police forces, and includes money to be set aside to recruit 13,000 additional neighbourhood police officers. So are you happy to pay more tax for this? What do you think, Henry?
I'm not happy, but I think it's a necessary evil. I mean, people don't like paying taxes. I'm sitting at the taxpayer denier in chief. No, you pay your taxes, but, But,
there was a bizarre accusation in there.
I absolutely pay my taxes.
You pay taxes, but I mean, you obviously make it very clear you think we're taxed too much and it's outrageous and so.
When have I done that? I can't remember.
A few times every day.
I can't remember that at all.
But we do. We have said many occasions, both here and elsewhere. Carole's genuinely kind of singed it, that we want more good quality police officers, not some of the terrible officers that we've heard about disgracing their uniform and their warrant and their mission in recent years. But I know a lot of police officers, and most of them do this difficult and dangerous job with a real sense of mission. That's why they're in. They don't do it for the pay. But the money has to come from somewhere. And it's a mixture of central government, the Home Office, etc., but also local councils according to local need. We've got to get the balance right. And if it requires me to pay up to an extra £14 or 3.5, yeah, I can do it. Some people may not be able to. I will do it. Because we do need to see good quality officers, not least to deal with the epidemic of shoplifting and all the other things that are going wrong.
Let's hear it from Carole now, who absolutely does pay her taxes.
No, she does.
I mean, how can you do that?
No.
If HMRC's watching, they're going to be
thinking... You often declare war on taxation.
Well, no, I don't declare war on taxation, ever,
how would you feel about paying
Not
more tax, then?
Okay.
Do you know what I think about this council tax? I think people are getting ripped off both ends and sides here by council tax, because I think that, they're being made to pay more for the amenities that they have, for the street lighting, for the emptying of bins, all the things that council tax is for. But, we know the government recently took the ceiling of how much councils can put up the tax. So now that people are going to get hammered more for their general amenities, and they're expected to pay for the rise in police service. Well, literally, this is a governmental responsibility to do this. Yes, some of the funding comes out of council tax, but this is going to be a lot more. And it's not fair on hardworking people. And I think, especially at a time, and I'm like Henry, I totally understand that we have some great coppers out there, but I think they are hamstrung by what they can and can't do. And I think a lot of people would feel out there now that policemen are not doing the job they are paid to do, protecting them from things like burglars and robbers and rapists. We know that more than 90% of crimes in a year are not solved. And a lot of people would say, what are we paying the police for if 90% of crimes go unsolved? So yes, I'd like to see more coppers on the street, but I want them to stop doing this silly stuff, like chasing people online, like chasing woke causes. I want, and if we want to know why coppers in London, because Mark Rowley, the Met Police Chief the other day, was saying he's going to have to shed maybe 2,300 police officers, mainly because every week in London for months and months, we have had pro-Palestinian demonstrations where coppers are made to be there when they should be solving crime. We've got to stop that.
It's not just pro-Palestinian. The so-called patriot marches and all that stuff has been happening.
There's been one that I can remember.
Thinly. We had riots all over the country a few months ago. Remember that?
We had riots.
Carole, we can't take away people's right to protest just because we don't have enough police officers, can we?
Well, I think we can stop the amount of coppers that... Well, yes, I think we can. If it is detrimental to the safety of other people in this country, and it is. If you've got
what if it's a cause you agree with?
If you've got no, it doesn't matter the cause I agree with. If you've got half of the city's coppers on the streets every Saturday patrolling one march and other people are suffering, I think it's got to stop. They have made their protest. They have had democracy in spades in this country. It can't go on indefinitely.
Okay, you want to redirect the resources to other things.
Yes.
Kimberly from Essex, how do you feel about the potential of paying more council tax in order to see more bobbies on the beat?
I wouldn't mind one little bit. Oh, yeah, by the way, as a trans woman, I've been on many times talking to you before. I've been beaten up and stabbed in my local high street. It's not nice.
You say that so passively, as if I had a cup of tea this morning. It's bizarre how accepting you are of that as a reality. But Kimberly, carry on.
It goes with the territory. Essex police are brilliant. The hate crime unit is fantastic, but unfortunately something has to happen before you see them. To see a police officer walking around the high street when I go shopping would be brilliant. It would make me feel so safe. Now, that doesn't happen. I have to go shopping at 7 a.m, get on the bus, get home, because I'm petrified of walking around my local high street in Surrey. It's awful out there. Paying a bit more to have a few officers on the beat, yes, not a problem. Bring it on.
But Kimberly, we already pay taxes. Should we have to pay an additional tax in the form of a ring-fenced £14 in our council tax in order for you to be able to see that? Or, as Carole suggests, they just redeploy resources to other areas and forget about what's happening online. Allow that to be the Wild West, and if you're on there, then good luck to you.
It's a difficult one, but I would pay. I mean, I would go a little bit hungrier to see a Bobby
Kimberly,
on the beat.
Do you believe them when they say they're going to take an extra 40% of your council tax? Do you believe that that money will go into producing coppers on the street? Because I don't.
No.
I just don't.
No, I don't either.
Yeah. It'll go into admin, it'll go into pay rises, it'll go into...
But they are being honest about the fact, I think part of it is going into funding pay rises. So that will be the case, but hopefully employing additional police officers as well. But Kimberly, that's interesting then. You don't believe that they're going to ring fence, I think it's 3% additional on your council tax in order to fund this. So why would you be happy to pay it?
I live in hope.
Exactly.
The eternal optimist.
Kimberly, you're talking about the ideal, aren't you? What it should be, that you'd pay and you'd get the coppers. But you're not going to get the coppers. You know it, I know it. People all over the country.
We're still building back from the years of austerity. Remember, during Cameron and Osborne, then they cut 20,000 police, nationally, and then Boris Johnson...
Oh, stop harking back to Cameron.
The best guide to what will happen is what has happened. History is our greatest guide. So during austerity, they decided the police can go hang. They chopped them by 20,000.
And
Boris Johnson tried to build them back by 20,000. And then but we need more. The population is increasing. People's expectations of what the police should and can do, whether it's online or in reality, like for Kimberly, is changing all the time. We expect more.
Carole might have a point. We hear lots of police spending a lot of time on these non-crime hate.
Okay, but do we know what the percentage is? I don't know off the top of my head. Do you know what the percentage is?
But even just a small percentage could be spent, those resources could be taken and spent just allowing someone to walk down the high street.
Well, I suspect, given what people have said about non-crime hate incidents, that will happen now because, of course, it's considered to be unacceptable policing. But then there'll be something else that people will say, oh, this is woke, you shouldn't be doing this.
It'll still
people who are complaining about this are often the ones who are saying you should be spending more time on what I'm concerned about as opposed to what, say, Kimberly or somebody else is concerned about.
Look at the Alison Pearson incident. 2 coppers came to her house on a Sunday afternoon to talk to her about a non-hate crime incident.
Well, it wasn't actually that. She said these two are Jew haters, and of course
you would never get 2 coppers at your door if you'd been burgled. It just wouldn't happen.
Maybe.
And what they're doing now is that they don't have real coppers on the street. They have, what is the name for them?
The PCSOs.
Who can't do anything. They have no authority.
They're a uniform
no powers.
presence. Some people find them reassuring.
No, they're not. Have you ever looked at them? Most of them are about 5'4" and 12.
Oh,
do you know they can't do anything? They literally can't help you. If someone's being attacked, they can't intervene. They have no powers.
You and I can do a citizen's arrest. They can do more than that. They've got more powers.
Oh, you see what would happen to you and me if we did a citizen's arrest?
I've done that. Okay, not a formal citizen's arrest, but I've
Carole,
intervened.
Are you being completely serious when you say you don't want the police to look into any crime that may have been committed online?
I didn't say any crime. What I said was spending inordinate amounts of time on that, because the perception of the public now is that the coppers aren't on the lookout for what I would call the real criminals, the burglars, the robbers, the people who attack pensioners in the street, the people who go into shops and steal food. They're not on the lookout for those people. They seem to be on the lookout people who say what they term to be bad things. Now, I think police time could be better used than that.
But it has been proven, has it not, that things that are said online spill out into real life.
Yeah.
We see that time and time again.
And we also see the people who've been arrested for some of the things that they said online during the riots. Some of the things weren't very good, but they didn't incite anything. They put a granny away for saying something bad, something that she deleted within 10 seconds. But if
you were the possible target of what she and others were saying, you would feel uncomfortable. You would think that they're threatening me. You'd want action to be taken, wouldn't you?
You saw what happened the other day with the case of when Nigel Farage's attacker went to court. Yeah. This girl got a suspended sentence for actually attacking an MP.
For admitting to assault. She did admit.
Oh, yeah, but I remember when
So-
Peter Mandelson was flagged in the face. Peter Mandelson was.
Why did she get...
Nigel Farage forgets this. Years ago, Peter Mandelson, when he was Secretary of State, had someone put a flan in his face, bashed his nose. I think even his nose bled. Nothing happened to her.
Why should someone who was admitted and being convicted of assault, why an MP, why should they not get a jail sentence? I don't understand it.
Well, we could have said that about the Mandels. There's been, traditionally in this country, there's been leniency for anybody who's thrown eggs in politicians' faces, put flan in their faces. I don't agree with that, by the way. I see it as assault. Assault, but it's got to be consistent.
Do you know why I think it's because it could be acid the next time?
Yeah, I agree with
that's
you.
the problem.
It's got to be consistent. But Farage wasn't complaining that Mandelson's attacker wasn't jailed.
People would want to see coppers doing what they consider to be fundamental policing.
Well, in that situation, it was the judicial system actually, and not the police, because the police were there and did take action at the time. So it was the judicial system. And,
I'm talking about generally. I'm saying generally people, what the cops do, that not be patrolling online.